like a women's like self-help book. It could be so many
Absolutely.
things.
How far though can they, and I mean the show, the franchise, ride this? Do we think one more season that they can get all the drama before it becomes where I hit and maybe other people don't, like, guys, get your acts together, and that's what happened to me with a couple shows where I'm just like, really,
Yeah. I think that's what ties into housewife fatigue. Like if you really strip it out, I mean, we have so many different franchises of the Housewives. It is the same formula, right? Like whether you're okay, Beverly Hills is fine, is different than the OC, is different than New York, but it's the same general formula. So to have multiple shows on all year at the same time, I'm a little fatigued by it all, right? Like I want something new.
But speaking of new, the Golden Bachelor. His name is, I can't find his name. Jerry. And he's
Jerry, yes.
And he's 71. And holy crap, is he handsome. Now, I was thinking about that last night. And with someone who is 71 and looks that good, I would be a little leery of someone that spends that much time on maintenance, because a 71-year-old does not look like that without doing continuous and major maintenance. And I don't want to be with a man who spends more time in the mirror than me.
I didn't even know what he looked like until you said, because my friend Rachel Riley from Big Brother, she's great. She was on my show. She was involved in casting this. So, it's like, you're in the business. I'm like, is this show really going to actually ever see the light of day? But the more she talked about it, here we are. So I didn't even know what he looked like until you sent me that picture. Oh my God. Yes, you are right. There are 71 and then there's 71, right? I mean, this guy is good looking. I just want to, like we talked about, I wonder what the age of the women suitors is going to be. Is it going to be his age, older and younger? And are we going to go all the way down? Because he looks like he's in his like early 50s to me.
100%. And I have a feeling if I were producing the show, I love to play this game, I would have, my youngest would be probably 25, and I would go all the way up to 72. And because what they want is to see him having to decide about someone age appropriate and some young hottie. My gut, and I will say this right now, he is going to end up with someone between 45 and 55. Maybe 42. I'm actually going to say 42, because that's still age appropriate enough, but not gross.
I agree with you. Listen, it's ABC. So I agree with you. I just hope that they don't go the straight and narrow route of age. Like I would love an age range. To me, that makes this show so much more interesting to see, he's going to sit there for the first and, I really want to find love and this and that. Really, because you're eliminating everyone who's like 68 and you're choosing like to go on one-on-one dates with people in their like late 20s. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's going to be, I agree with you. I bet you he's going to end up, I was going to say like 40 to 52. I'm agreeing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. But okay, so just as a primer for people, Disney owns ABC, which is the home of The Bachelor. They also own Hulu, the home of the Kardashians. And I think it was last week, the internet and everyone was blowing up because right at the end of the show and teasing into the next episode, Kim announces that she's been asked to be the Bachelorette. So just follow me here. Kim says that the promos all had the family freaking out. Everyone's talking about Kim being on the Bachelorette, and then they drop the news about the Golden Bachelor. Whoever is working in strategic marketing for ABC and Disney and Hulu, that was a meeting of the minds right there.
Brilliant. I mean, because listen, let's just cut to the chase. Kim's not
doing the Bachelorette. She's not.
There's a 0% chance of this with no creative control over it. No.
Well, first of all, the money. And second of all, who are the guys going to be that are in that you could believe she would be with? We all had enough problems believing about Pete Davidson, and he has a shit ton of money and is famous. and
Yeah.
apparently very well endowed, but that's a different podcast.
That's a whole different podcast.
It's a whole different podcast. So who would they put with her? They can't. But if that's not great cross promotion, I don't know what is.
It's brilliant. And I had Wells Adams from The Bachelor. He's like, he hosts Bachelor in Paradise. This came up because I suggested Ariana as the next Bachelorette, maybe after Dancing with the Stars. And somehow it came up, and that he said, like, he's been in rooms where people have brought up, now it lasts for 30 seconds or 1 second, where they brought up Kim and the other Kardashians. Because I mean, I would just think where the world is, they would start wanting to go to these semi-well-known people as the leads, which kind of jumps the shark. But I think that's, like you said, there needs to be new life in all these franchises.
And I would not call the Kardashians semi-well-known people, but the Bachelor and the Bachelorette have not had good luck when they've gone for someone who's even partially known or has a famous relative. It has not ended well for them.
No, it hasn't.
But I'm certainly going to watch the Kardashians this week to see the rest of the conversation.
I have to say, I'm not that excited about The Bachelor anymore, but The Golden Bachelor does relatively intrigue me. It does.
Oh, it totally intrigues me. It's more of a like, oh my God, how is this going to play out? And who are these women going to be? I think it's going to be amazing. Who do you think would be a great Bachelor/Bachelorette?
Besides Ariana Maddox, assuming she was single, that's a really good question. I mean, the possibilities are so endless. I mean, you look at someone like, I like someone who is been fluid in the past, or like a Demi Lovato. Someone like that comes to the top of my mind.
What about like a Scott Disick?
I think, listen, I would love a Scott Disick.
And one person you brought up, which I think would be brilliant casting, Caitlyn Jenner.
Scott can be on The Bachelor, and the second, listen, if the Golden Bachelor is a success, I mean, what comes next? The Golden Bachelorette, right?
Yeah.
So let's get Caitlyn in there and really get suitors for her of all ages. I think that would be that. I did bring that up to you. I think it would be great. I mean, she might almost do it, right?
Well, the whole ABC, Hulu, Disney synergy is clearly at play in this last week with both those shows, or with all four, Love Island, Bachelorette, Bachelor, and Golden Bachelor now. Man, they are just printing money, but we got to talk about my favorite.
Your favorite is trending today.
It is. Why?
Just a lot of the things that we talked about, just as far as like all the Gary and the Daisy and Colin, and just, this was a more messy season than most.
Oh my God. The 2-part reunion. I got to watch part